Welcome to What's Going On, the weekly podcast and videocast of First United Methodist Church in Yankton, South Dakota. Hi, welcome to this episode of What's Going On. I'm Pastor Katie from First United Methodist Church here in Yankton, South Dakota, and I'm so glad you joined me for this episode. Today, we have a very special guest back with us once again, Tiffany Beste. Hi, Tiffany.
Hi, how are you?
So if you aren't part of our church or an avid fan of our podcast, Tiffany is our children and youth. I really need to learn what your title is.
Coordinator?
Coordinator? That's probably a good word.
Yeah. I don't know. That's what I've been telling people. Coordinator of the kids.
Coordinator of anyone under the age of
19.
18.
Yes. Yes.
So Tiffany took on the youth stuff at the beginning of this year in January, and has been just doing a phenomenal job at coordinating what's going on with our children and our youth as we are slowly rolling the church more and more open. You've started with a modified version of 605.
Okay.
You've had youth group going this whole time. And then we've got a bunch of things that are kind of coming down the line. And so I thought it would be really good to have you on to kind of share some of what's happening
Sure.
in our church.
Absolutely. And I agree. It's been kind of a slow start to the new year, but I think it's been a good, cautious start with everything. We had been, prior to the new year, just sending home packets monthly with the pre-K through fifth graders. And we did that again in January, just so we could meet as an education committee and determine what it was we wanted to do moving forward. And we decided to slowly start to bring the kids back in on Wednesday nights just to see how things went. And we only had a few kids sign up for February. We were kind of doing a sign up process with that just to know how many we were going to have come in. So we actually only did one evening in February, but it went really well. We had about 17 kids there. I think I had 7 or 8 adults there with me, which was great, just to make sure that we were doing the things we needed to be doing with the COVID policies and those types of things. But it went really well. So then we kind of opened up March without anybody having to sign up. They could choose to come in on the 10th of March and the 24th of March, which is actually coming up here this week, or both days if they wanted to. And on the 10th of March, we had 19 kids come and about the same amount of parents come as well.
Nice.
So numbers are great. And I don't know if we'll have more or less this coming Wednesday, if people will decide they want to come back, because I do know the kids that have been coming and the parents that have been coming are really enjoying what we're doing. And they're just glad to be back in the church, and they're so happy to see each other again. So I will expect that I'll see some of the same faces we saw earlier in the month here in March, which is good. And then as far as youth goes, after the first of the year, we kind of went back to in-person, making sure that we were doing all the things we need to do with COVID there as well. And we've been really consistent between 15 and 20 kids every Wednesday night since we've come back. And it's been awesome. They are just such a great group of kids. And we keep saying to them, and we're so happy that you can tell that there's a large comfort really forming for them. And they're starting to open up and they're starting to talk, and we're having conversations about things. So that has gone really well. I have Julie Modreger and Gina Brandt have been pretty consistent with Merle Brandt and a few other parents that have come in here and there to help out. And that part's really great too. I mean, it definitely takes more than just me in order to pull some of these things off, especially on a night where we have 605 and youth group. If I was the one fully in charge of 605, moving into fully in charge of youth group, it could be kind of crazy some nights. That I have received from the parents of the kids that are coming in is so worthwhile to me, and I'm so grateful for them when they do come in and help, just because it makes everything go so much smoother for everybody that's involved. So that's kind of where we're at right now. We're just every week with the youth group, and we're twice a month right now with 605 on Wednesday evenings, and we'll see if we continue to move forward with that as well.
Awesome. So one of the other things that we've been doing this month that you've had a big hand in is Camp March. And we've gone through 3 weeks of camping. We have the church decorated for camping. We've done some different activities, some promotional videos. And so do you want to talk a little bit about how that's gone, and kind of what people might need to do if they still want to sign up?
Absolutely. It has gone really well. I wasn't really sure with the state of where we are right now, what participation would be like with camps, but I actually think it might be one of the best registration years that we've had in a while. The last I had checked, like I said, one day on a Sunday, we gave a little update. We have a grandma and a granddaughter going to the grandma and me camp. We have a family attending a family camp. The Rickies. And right now, I think I just got a text today saying we had another student or another child sign up for the summer's last blast. I think we're at probably about 8 kids that are signed up to go to the summer's last blast, with at least 2 shepherds signed up to go with them. I do know that there is a wait list for the summer's last blast right now. And I know that a gal had signed up and was on the wait list and got in. So I would say if you want to sign up and you want to go, even if there is a wait list, sign up. The summer's last blast isn't until August, so hopefully before then, maybe some things will change, maybe some spots will open up, but we'll get all the kids that want to go into that. The other one I'm kind of excited about, just never having gone anywhere with youth, is we have 6 or 7 youth right now signed up to go to, it's a camp cleanup weekend is really what it is. But they invite any church members that want to go to come, and they also invite youth groups to come with and help clean up the camp and prepare it for the summer. So April 30th and May 1st, there's 2 of us for sure as youth leaders going. And like I said, I think we've got 6 or 7 youth going with us for that. And it's just one overnight. We're going to leave Friday night. We're going to come home on Saturday. But I'm kind of excited about that one. I think the kids will have fun. They're going to still do all the normal campfire types of opportunities and things there. And they said swimming, and I was like, ooh, swimming in Lake Ponce in April. But it was put out there as an option. So still doing the same camp activities, but then also giving those youth an opportunity to give back to the camp. You know, some of them have gone through as kids, and now they're going to get to help prepare it for the other kids that are going through this summer. So I'm pretty excited about that. I think Camp Month has gone really, really well. Like you said, the promotional videos, we saw some kids talk about camp and some youth talk about camp. So I think Camp March has been incredibly successful in our church. I think we've gotten some people that maybe wouldn't have signed up in previous years, kind of got excited about what was happening, and they are signing up this year. And I'm looking forward to being up there and taking all the pictures of the things that we're doing when we're up there, so that next year when we do this again, we've got some pictures that can go along with some of the things that our kids have done while they've been up there. So it's exciting. I'm looking forward to it.
I used to be at Lake Ponce every summer counseling. When I was a lot younger, I would counsel 4 or 5 camps every summer. And, you know, that was my home away from home, and I worked out there. But since I got married and had started having kids, I haven't done a camp out there. And so to get to go with my family and
Right.
all 3 of them, this will be their first time going. And I'm so excited. I'm nervous about sleeping in the cabins with my boys. I'm nervous about them not sleeping. But other than that,
they'll love it. They'll have so much fun there, though. I think it'll be an awesome experience for you guys. So that'll be cool.
we're really looking forward to this. It's kind of one of our little mini vacations. And I can't think of a better place to go personally. That's you know, when I talk about God moments, the camp is full of them for me. And even I remember Lake Ponce was flooded one year. Well, it's been flooded multiple years, but one year I took a youth group out there to help sandbag and do cleanup after the flood. And those are really, really impactful trips as well. Really fun, actually. I mean, it's physical labor, but you have a lot of fun doing it with people.
And, that's what I thought, like with the youth camp that we're going to. I'm looking forward to that, to see our youth give back or pay forward or whatever you want to say, and contribute a little bit of work towards what Lake Ponce has to offer every year.
Yeah. I did get to help demo one of the cabins though when I was out there, and that might be some of the most fun I've ever had. I got to have a sledgehammer and really go
They
to
always say
town.
demo's the most fun. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
never participated in much demo, but I would imagine that it is.
I used to have to organize and clean that cabin, so there was some real satisfying moments of getting to swing that hammer at it.
Yep.
So
Yep.
no, it's yeah, well, I'm excited. I'm excited to hear the stories and to see the photos and to
Yeah,
um, yeah, get to be a part, have our church be a part of what that ministry is doing, which is pretty
absolutely.
incredible. So
Yeah, it is.
and
A lot
and
of lot of lot of people go through that camp every summer. So
yes,
yeah.
and experience God and
Yep.
honestly experience calls into ministry.
Right.
Our camping ministry, uh, there's a lot of pastors that can trace their call to ministry back to camp, and
Camp.
I'm one
Yep.
of them.
Yep.
And that's where we get a lot of our pastors, and so it is important
Yep.
because, and I do think that God speaks to people there. So I am always an advocate for camping ministry. So, and I want to give you credit where credit is due because it was your idea to expand camp for the whole month, and I thought that was such a great idea, and I really loved getting to highlight different aspects of it each week and having the s'more bags and to get to dress in our camp clothes and all of that was really fun.
Well, we put up that camp scene, yearly, and sometimes it's up for a weekend. And I'm like, well, we need to leave that up for quite some time. And just because of the way things are right now, I didn't know for sure when people would be coming to services or not coming to services. So you don't want to leave anybody out and have just one camp Sunday. Why not 4 camp Sundays?
Right.
So hopefully we were able to touch a few more people in there, and when they were at church and had a chance to watch the promotional videos or whatever, and maybe that was part of what had a few more people sign up this year, was they were just more aware of it because it was more frequent.
Well, and this Sunday is still March, but we're going to be shifting gears a little bit because it's Palm Sunday and we've got some fun things planned for that. And so we still want to push that camp signups we want to get everyone signed up by the end of March because as you said,
Right.
there's already a wait list on one of our camps that kids are
Yep.
signing up for.
Yep.
But
And there's a few that have some wait lists, and there's so many, like there's photography camp and superhero camp. So definitely go look for the one that fits you. But yes, we're really pushing that March 31st date, not to say you can't sign up afterward, but we're pushing that just to get kids, even if it is onto a wait list, because the higher you are on the wait list, the more likely you'll get a spot eventually for that camp. So yeah, March is our month. We're going to do it during this month.
So for this Sunday, with Palm Sunday, we have some activities that are happening after the service that are really the education committee is kind of helping to organize, but the youth group I think is helping with it as well.
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit about kind of what we have planned.
Well, sure. This is the first time we've done something really like this, so I'm not 100% sure what to expect, and I'm really hoping that it's at least just not raining. So after the service, we will start with the Palm Parade around the neighborhood. Like we're gonna walk on some sidewalks and down the streets around the neighborhood. We've got the palms ordered for that, and you mentioned today that we're gonna bring along some musical instruments and let ourselves be heard in the neighborhood. Kids can grab an instrument that they want to play and bang on, and we'll have that first, and then. So she'll have another message for the children outside after the Palm Parade. And then we will for sure do an Easter egg hunt. We have lots of Easter eggs and we're going to fill them up. That's what the youth group is going to help do this Wednesday. We're going to fill up the Easter eggs and we're going to pull out. We always have all kinds of different games and activities for the kids to play. So we're going to have the youth group get all of that set up on Wednesday, ready to roll. Probably have some candy to win at those activities when they're there playing them as well. So probably kids that are coming need to bring Easter basket or even just a plastic grocery bag would be perfect. Whatever you have in your house is just fine. But then again, if it's nice outside, we're going to have some games set up, some activities set up, maybe just some sidewalk chalk and some bubbles and different things for the kids to play with while they're there. Because again, some of our kids still, we haven't seen everybody yet this spring, and we might have some that are going to be willing to come out to an outdoor event. And we would just love to have as many children and family and people that don't have children come and join us, because like I said, the more adult helpers you have when there's kids involved, the smoother everything goes. And we'd love to have people join us for the parade, help kids with the Easter egg hunt, and then, join them in the activities as well. So I think it's going to be pretty fun. It's going to be an exciting day for the kids, especially for some of those that, are going to be joining us for the first time here this spring.
Anyone who is able to do the palm parade, I would like as many people. I know that for some, it's daunting to walk that far. So I understand that there's limitations that way. But if you are able, I would love to have everybody from the church participate in the palm parade, because I want it to be a witness to the community that there's something that we are rejoicing about, that we are praising our God, and we are not ashamed, and we are want to be that light on a hill for our neighborhood and our community, and for them to see who we are and to invite them to be a part of it and part of our Easter services.
Well, and that see our kids that we are here, we're back. So when they see us out in the neighborhood, they'll know the next time that there's things that are going on in our church that they should come and join us with whenever they are able to do so.
Yeah, so I'm super excited. Part of me thinks that even if it's raining, I'll be out there.
Umbrellas and raincoats.
I just so happen to have some umbrellas. So
I think we could find some, but I'm just wishful. I'm hopeful that it's just the sun's going to shine and it's going to be beautiful.
Yes.
And if we do have to move it inside, there's activities and things that we can move inside as well.
Yep. So no matter what, there will be things to do. The event will happen no matter what, just depending on the weather, what it's going to be.
Correct.
But yes, so put it on your calendar, plan to stay after worship. And this Sunday is our final single worship service, because Easter we moved to 2 services again, which we've been kind of bursting at the seams a little bit this last month, which is a good problem, as people have been getting vaccinated and feeling more comfortable coming. And so, we've been ready, but we've been working behind the scenes to get things ready to go to have 2 services, because it's a lot of work. And we're working hard to bring our praise team back. So we're super excited about that, about having contemporary service. And one of the changes is that we are moving times to 9:00 for our contemporary service and 10:30 for our traditional service. And so one of the changes that necessitates is Sunday school. And Tiffany is already on top of that as well. So.
Well, it's definitely not a new conversation that we've been having, and I was kind of excited to hear when the new services were going to be, because I thought it would fit what we have tried to do or talked about doing for a long time much better. We've had many conversations about offering a children's church or a children's time that's during the church service. And as you and I both know as parents, sometimes it's nice to be able to go to church and have your children there for part of it, and then allow them to go have their own time, their own church service, and the parents can then sit and take in what the sermon is about. So starting after Easter, the Sunday after Easter, I believe that's the 11th, we will be offering a children's time during the first contemporary service. So somewhere in there, Pastor Katie will do a children's message, just like she has started doing. And immediately after that children's message, myself and whoever's helping that morning will take the kids downstairs. For right now, we're going to take them downstairs to Wesley Hall. And that's more so just so that I can start to figure out how many kids we're going to get and how many volunteers I need to help. And if we get to a point where we head back into the classrooms again, we might do that as well. But for the time being, Wesley Hall has good internet access and a good TV. So it's a nice space if we want to sing some songs or watch a video story of some sort. But But I'm super excited about it. And this few parents that I've had a chance to talk to about it, they are really excited about it. And so, like I said, after the children's sermon of that first service, we'll take the kids downstairs. They'll be in Wesley Hall when the service is over, and you can pick them up from there. I just think it's a great opportunity to maybe bring some families back in that do have the younger kids who have wanted something on a Sunday morning, and we kind of were slow with getting the 605 going, and now that's going, and we're going to add this in as well. And if you're a second service attender, which is great, you can probably plan to bring your kids in about 9:20, 9:30. They'll be there until the end of the first service, and then really it's not that far away from the second service starting. So you can still bring your kids into children's church during the first service and then attend the second service with your family together. So I think it's I love that we're trying it. I love that we have a few Sundays here before summer to see how the children's church is going to work. And I really think it's going to be successful. And I think we have a lot of parents that are really happy to hear that we're doing it. So we'll see how it goes. As always, when we are offering these things for the kids, we want to give you that opportunity to go and sit in church without your kids. But if, one Sunday a month, you were willing to come down and help with the kids as well, that's always incredibly appreciated. That way, it's not the same people having to run the children's church all the time. Some people can go up and listen to the sermon, and others can come down and help with the kids and kind of take turns with that. I would say preschool aged, if you have a 3-year-old that's attending preschool this year, I would imagine that they can handle this for the amount of time that we'll be there. And honestly, we'll take anybody up through 5th grade. I know that as kids get a little older, they manage church better, and some families want them to stay through the service. But, even if it's a 4th or a 5th grader that wants to come down, we might have them help us too, because if we are working with 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds and 5-year-olds, sometimes our 9, 10, and 11-year-olds are great helpers as well. So we will take anyone preschool through 5th grade. And there will be activities available for all of them to do. It's not just one level of activities. We'll have all kinds of things. So we'll take anybody. We'll take all the kids.
And then for those who have kids that are younger, we are looking to get our nursery open again as well. But we are also in need of people who would like to be in the nursery. And so for my sake, I would love to have some nursery workers. Actually, I should say for my husband's sake, because if you've been in church recently, you know that our boys are rambunctious and extraordinarily comfortable in the church. They definitely they feel like it's their home, which I'm glad that they do. But at the same time, when you talk about parents wanting to focus, I've asked my husband in the last 3.5 years, what'd you think of my sermon today? And his response has always been, well, I liked what I heard, but I didn't hear all of it. So just know that we're working on getting that together as well. And that if that's something that you would like to help us with, we'd love to visit with you about that as well. So is there anything else coming up? You do have one more thing for youth, right? Coming up in April with, I want to say hot dog.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So actually, I have 2 things coming up in April that I'm kind of excited about. On April 7th, the first Wednesday of April, we have Amanda Gravelt coming back to talk to our youth. She was an FUMC child and youth, graduated, I think in 2000, she told me, I have it on the slide, 16, 15, somewhere in there. And I remember when I first started teaching Sunday school at the church, Amanda was still there as a high schooler helping. And I just remembering thinking that was so great that she was willing to come on Sunday mornings as a high schooler, go to church, and then stick around afterwards and help with the kids. She's currently over at Vermilion, says she's finishing up her last year with a nursing degree. She'll graduate in May, but has always been just a super phenomenal follower of Christ and lives her life the way that we would want our children and our youth to try to live theirs. So I think she would be a great role model to bring in and to talk to the kids about how she's stayed connected with the church while going off to college and those types of things, because that's things that youth have to kind of figure out is, once I leave home and I leave Yankton, how do I stay connected to something wherever it is that I'm at? So I'm pretty excited to get to hear Amanda talk. And then following that, on the 14th, we've actually had a youth family. Dan and Laura Slowey are going to do a hot dog roasting, grilling. I don't know. We're putting them over the fire. So we're going to cook them over the fire. But we kind of talked about both of these things, the 7th and the 14th, are great opportunities for those who maybe have not found a good time or a good starting point to come back to youth, to join us. We want our youth to come back all the time, every week. You know, we're always looking for more kids to come and be part of what we're doing. But we think these are good opportunities, just where just you can come in and listen to Amanda and what she has to say. And then on the 14th, when we're roasting hot dogs, we're going to be outside. Again, we're going to hope to have some games going for the youth outside, hoping it's another nice night for us. And just a real laid back, casual event that anybody can come join our youth group if they want to that evening and roast a hot dog. So trying to reconnect a little bit with maybe some of those that we haven't seen this year and want to reconnect with them before summer rolls around. And we have our continual ongoing raffle of every time a youth comes, their name goes in the drawing to win some prizes at the end of the year. Like I said, we're going to do a water park pass. And we're also thinking like an Xbox gift card or an iTunes gift card or something. And we've had some kids that since we started this have come 9 or 10 times to youth group and brought friends. So their names are getting in there a few times, and that's good. That's really what we want, is we want kids coming to youth and connecting there and feeling like it's a place that they're really comfortable coming to and wanting to come back every week. So a couple of fun events in April. And then, you know, it's crazy that when you're talking about April, you're also talking about the school year coming to a close, but we want to wrap up strong. We want to have a strong finish to the end of the year.
Man, there's just been so much for us to be able to talk about, which is
I know,
exciting.
which is great. It just makes me feel like every week we take a step closer and closer to the new normal, the new what we're looking and what we're trying to be. So it's good.
So we've kind of focused a lot on children and youth in this episode, but I just want to make a little plug for some other things that are happening in the life of the church. One in particular, the UMW, which is our United Methodist Women, who have been, you know, kind of active behind the scenes this year. They have every 3 months or so, the United Methodist Women as an organization will do these prayer vigils for different kind of focused topics. And so they last for like 24 hours, and different UMW chapters will take on one of those times to be praying. And the one that is happening this week, and it's this Saturday, is to pray for the elimination of racial discrimination. And our UMW chapter has invited our church to be a part of that, and taking some time on Saturday between 4:15 and 5 o'clock p.m. to pray for the end of racial discrimination, and in particularly the racial discrimination that happens here in Yankton. I think so often we like to think that those are things that happen other places and those are problems for other people, but they're here as well. And so if you would be willing, the UMW would appreciate your partnership in that, and maybe setting an alarm on your phone and just taking a few moments to be praying for a better world and a better future for all of us. And so I'm really impressed with the UMW and their commitment to helping to make the world a better place, and through education and awareness. And so I'm excited for them and for the work that they're doing. And then, I think we've kind of touched on a lot of the other things. I'm really excited for Palm Sunday, really excited for Easter. And we've got a lot of things coming down the line. And so make sure that you join us for worship this Sunday at 10 o'clock. You can find us in the building or on YouTube or through our website. We do live stream all of our services. So Tiffany, thanks so much for joining me, and just keep doing the good work.
Well, thanks. And thanks again for having me, because like you said, there's a lot of stuff going on. So the more we can get that information out to everyone, the better. Because even sometimes I'm struggling to keep it all straight right now. So it's good. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of What's Going On, a video and audio podcast of First United Methodist Church in Yankton, South Dakota. You can join us for worship Sundays at 10 a.m., either online at www.firstumcyankton.org or in person with our safety protocols in place. We do require mask and social distancing. We hope to see you in worship. God bless.